What is up, guys? It's Coach James here. I am solo today, and this is the Game Changers. So today I just wanted to come on personally. I know Coach Bricks and I, who's not here, we could go on about this forever. But I wanted to discuss youth sports today and how that's kind of changed from when I played youth sports and from other experiences with people that come in here and what I've seen from our older athletes, from kids that are also in college, out of college, and seeing how that kind of differs to what I see today in a lot of our younger athletes. I can say from personal experience, I am now 3 years out of college, so I'm 26. When I played youth sports, I played 3 different sports year round. I played soccer in the fall, I played winter basketball, I played spring baseball, and I played spring soccer. But year round, I always did something different. I never did anything over the summer. Summer was my free time. If I wanted to do a camp, I'd do a basketball camp, I'd do a soccer camp. But the summer was my time to kind of relax and just hang out with friends, play on our own. As Coach Bricks would always talk about it, it's free play. So it's not anything structured. There's not a coach around. It's not, hey, the coach is opening a gym for us and they're gonna supervise it and they're gonna give us instructions if they see something that they don't like. It was always, I'm gonna go play with my friends. If I suck for whatever reason that day or I'm just not playing it, I need to figure it out. There's no one there that's gonna tell me, hey, I need to do this or I need to do that. It was always on my own. And I think a lot of our older athletes, again, kids that are out of college, playing maybe semi-professional sports, or they're just playing for fun, they were the same way. There wasn't other people around guiding them per se on how to do this. It was always figure it out on your own. Like you go to the local basketball courts, then you just play pickup with friends or people you don't even know. And now today, we have a park right next to us. There's no one ever there, or very rarely anyone ever out there playing. Today, you always see it structured. Coach opens the gym where we're gonna hold an open practice where you can come, but I'm still gonna give you instructions. I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm gonna tell you where to be. I can see it from my experience being in here, and I've only been in here working in this with Coach Bricks here at Explosive Sports Performance for 2.5, 3 years. I know the biggest thing that has driven that is social media, and everyone has a cell phone now. You can record everything, and that's the biggest thing is highlight and mixtape culture, in my opinion, is everyone has to have a highlight. When I was in middle school and elementary school, if you had a mixtape, if you were a basketball player and you had a mixtape, you were the best in the area. Now you can be the last person off the bench for your varsity team, your JV team, and you have a mixtape somehow. And you might play 3 minutes. But if you had a mixtape and you were a high school athlete, you were the best in your area. You were the best in, let's say, Harrisburg. You were the best in Pennsylvania. You weren't just the next guy that has their mixtape now. I think that's the biggest proponent that has changed a lot of this culture. One of the other things that I've seen is, and we talked about this in college when I was in college, was specialization for athletes. Again, like I had mentioned, I played 3 sports year round. I never played one sport. I was never a one sport athlete. I was always doing something different. And you see all these kids that they play sports 10 months out of the year and they may take 2 months off. That, in our cases here, working here, that leads to a lot of overuse injuries. And I'll use baseball as an example. You see these kids come in with baseball and they're like, hey, my shoulder hurts. Well, when's the last time you had off? We'll ask them. Well, probably last year, and in between summer and fall ball. Well, it's now the following spring. And you're like, well, you've played the last 8 months in a row and you haven't given your body a chance to have a break, do something different. With those different sports, you're using different muscles. You're not doing the same motion. So if I'm a baseball player and I'm just sitting here throwing 5-6 days out of a week, yeah, my shoulder's gonna hurt, and yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of problems. I'm gonna have problems with my elbow. That's gonna lead to things down the line where I'm gonna need my Tommy John surgery. And then you wonder why you're not playing as much. Well, I have this problem going on. When I played different sports, I played soccer. Well, okay, I'm tired from soccer. Well, now I'm going to basketball. I'm doing different things constantly. I'm never just sitting around doing the same sport and doing the same thing. It's always something different that my body has to change and adapt to. I know Coach Bricks and I have talked about it, is your body always is adapting. It's always finding ways to either come back from an injury or kind of mitigate that injury and find a new way to always find a better route and find how to move better, how to perform better. So that's the one thing that I always try and mention to kids. It's like, in your downtime, like if you're not doing anything, get away from baseball, get away from soccer, get away from basketball, do something different. Whether it's coming in here and you're taking 2, 3 months, 4 months off from your sport and you're working out, you're doing different things to then prepare you for the long run and getting back into that sport to where now your body can withstand those 8, 9 months of, if you're doing that again over and over and over again. One of the other big components that I see and proponents is not only the coaches, but the parents. You see these coaches say, if you want to be good in this sport, you have to play this sport. That was never the case 5, 10, I wouldn't say 5 years, 10, 15 years ago, even longer ago. You had, again, like I mentioned, those kids playing every sport. They had their dedicated season. You didn't see one kid that played soccer year round. You didn't see one kid that was just focused on football, unless that was solely, like, that was the only thing that maybe, let's say, they were good at. But I remember you played with your friends. And so many of us have gotten away from the fun aspect of sports. It's, how can I get to play at the next level? How can I do this? And that's great that you want to get to that next level. But you need to understand that maybe that isn't all there is to life. There's more to life outside of, hey, I want to be a Division I basketball player. Well, if my friend asks, hey, we're going here to hang out, we're going to play over here. No, I have to go do this. I have to go be with this basketball coach. I have to go be with this soccer coach. I have to go do my hitting lesson. There's not much of a purpose in life. We always talk about, what is your purpose in life? And I know we had probably mentioned it on a previous episode. A lot of kids, when we ask them, what is your purpose? They don't know. Their only purpose, per se, is, I want to be good at soccer. What's past soccer? What happens when soccer maybe doesn't work out? What happens when you're done playing soccer? What is your purpose? Finding your true purpose. Having a life outside of sports is much bigger than your sport. And a lot of the coaches push that, where, hey, you could be really good at this sport, so I want you to leave your sport because I can get you to this level. Why not do both? Find a way. There's always a way. We make too many excuses of, I can't do this anymore, so I'm only going to do this. There's always time in the day. There's always time that you can make. For whatever reason or for whatever it may be, there's always an excuse that we make. Why? There's no reason why we shouldn't be making excuses to why I can't do something. We're always giving ourselves that out. Well, I'll try to be there, or I'll try and do it. I know Coach Bricks, he always just tells me, just do it. If you fail, learn from it, come back and do it again. There's no trying in anything. Because if you don't do it and you say, wow, I just tried it, or I just tried to do that sport, or I just tried to do this, well, then it's okay if I didn't do it, if I failed. Because I just said I was going to go and try it. If we actually go out and do it and take the criticism and learn from that, then we'll be more prepared for other things that happen in our life. Again, it's bigger than the sport. It's bigger than it's life. One of the other things that I always see is coaches. And again, this goes back to the specialization that I mentioned. So many of the times that you see these kids come in, they're like, well, I have practice 5, 6 days a week. Why? We need to learn to give these kids a break. These kids are run down. By the time they get to their season, let's say we're coming into baseball season, I can see personally some of these kids coming in that have worked with us over the winter, they're coming in 2 days a week. They have workouts 4 or 5 other days a week. So sometimes they're coming in and they've already worked out. Now we know when they're coming into us, hey, I'm not going to maybe push them as hard because I know they just came from a workout. But why are we doing this for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks leading into the season of going 5 days a week? by the time they get to that season, they're burnt out. They're coming in with injuries. They're coming in with other problems. They don't probably want to play at that point because they've been doing this the whole winter. Again, I go back to having a life outside of your sport. If you're doing that 5, 6, 7 days a week, you probably don't want to do much after that. So learning to understand as a coach and as a parent, hey, maybe we don't need to do all this. Maybe we don't need to go to that extra tournament on the weekend. Maybe we don't need to take him to this showcase to get him seen. Maybe we don't need him going to these camps, tryouts, and things like that to make a mixtape per se, or make a highlight reel, highlight video to get him seen by coaches. When I was in high school and before me, when kids were in high school, if you wanted a coach to see you and you wanted to get to that next level, those coaches came to you. It's so easy now that we make those highlight reels and those mixtapes, and we can just post them on our huddle and on YouTube and TikTok and other social media. And these coaches don't have to go out. The coaches don't actually see who you are in the moment. They see who you are in these little tiny clips. They don't see what happened 2 plays later when you messed up and you're on the sideline throwing a tantrum, throwing whatever, doing whatever, and you don't see that as a person. Where these coaches used to come out and they see you as a person, and oh, he reacted that way. That's not the culture that I want to bring into my team. That's not something that I want for my team. And I know that if I bring that in, he might be the best player on the court. He might be the best player on the field. But if I bring that in as a culture and bring that toxicity into it, the team's never going to work. If I see that, then it just spreads throughout the team. But again, the biggest thing is just relax. Everything is so sped up. We try and do too much. If we just take our time and let the kids and let them choose what they want to do. If they want to go and play baseball year round, that's on them. But then we need to understand that, hey, if he is looking tired, he's not performing well anymore, okay, maybe it's time to pull back. And we need to explain that to those athletes and help them understand, hey, maybe this is too much. I understand you love what you're doing. You love playing baseball year round. You love playing with your friends, but you need to understand that, okay, maybe you're doing too much, and we need to maybe look at other routes that we can do. Maybe you do this for this season. Maybe go play this. You might not be the best player. That's okay. The biggest thing is having fun and learning different experiences and taking those experiences and maybe taking them to your sport and being able to take your game to the next level. That's all that it ever is finding that next level, because we're never going to actually find that 100% that we say that we're always performing at. You can always find just that a little bit more, but that never is that 100%. I can say I've given 100%, then maybe next time, or even I might realize later, I could have gone just that little bit more. Well, if I say I gave 100%, then I actually wasn't giving that 100%. Maybe it's just a little bit higher, but I'll never know. So, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Leave a comment here on YouTube with your ideas, your thoughts. This is Coach James, again, with the Game Changers.